Welcome to the Business of Being a Postgrad, where we share real stories, experiences, and insights from postgraduate students here at Durham University Business School. Each episode explores the highs, the challenges, and everything in between. Our conversations are split into three sections: life, learning, and lessons. So, whether you're considering postgraduate study, already on your journey, or simply curious about the people shaping the future of business, this podcast is your inside look. Hi, I'm John. In this episode of The Business of Being a Postgrad, I'm joined by Shukurullo, an MSc Finance Investment and Finance student from Uzbekistan, to talk honestly about the realities of postgraduate study. He also discusses his experience as an international student ambassador and offers valuable advice, particularly those from Central Asia considering studying a master's in the UK. First up, life, your journey, your experiences, and what made Durham feel right for you. All right. Hi, Shukurullo. Thank you for joining us today on The Business of Being a Postgrad.
Thank you.
Okay, so would you just tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
So, hi everyone. My name is Shukurullo Numatov. I come from Central Asia, a country named Uzbekistan. I currently study at Durham as Postgrad, Finance and Investment with Islamic Finance.
So what was it that drew you to Durham University Business School?
Durham University Business School, so many reasons. So first of all, I'm a polymath. So I started at the University of Plymouth doing marketing. And I said, I would like to know more about the finance aspect of it. And I know that Durham University has, in my opinion at least, the best Islamic finance research centers and investment research centers as well, and it's top 100 university in the world. And the final reason is just the dream. It was a dream for me to study because of maybe it will sound childish, but I always dreamt of studying in Hogwarts-like buildings, castles, and I'm very honored, proud to be part of Durham Castle as well.
So how would you describe your first impressions of Durham then? What was the first time like when you went into the cathedral where they did film some of those early Harry Potter movies?
Oh, where do I start? It was like a fairy tale, to be fair. I arrived obviously with a massive luggage, a bit tired, but it just wept out all the time as when I saw the city. It was a sunny time as well. The second day when I went into Durham Castle, met with students, and we actually had lunch together there, the first impression was amazing. And at the same time, the third day when I actually arrived in business building Waterside, it was completely different. So it's just a great combination of history and just the future. And you want to live and you want to study. That's I would say just the mix of feelings the first week.
And how does it compare to obviously your home country of Uzbekistan?
Home country quite similar, I would say. Uzbekistan is known for its history. So you can go to any modern city and you will see that city is divided into two parts: history and future, as well as innovation, tall buildings and so on. But compared to that, obviously there are less people. Uzbekistan, especially the capital where I come from, it's very crowded. You spend about 3 hours per day just to commute. Here, even though I live about 10 minutes from the castle, probably 20 minutes just to commute. And it's fresh air. Unfortunately, Uzbekistan is being quite polluted with air pollution and so on. And it's just easy to breathe. And you really appreciate the nature here when you come. And you feel relaxed. I'm not sure how to explain it. It's just, even though you have assignments, even though you have big goals, studies, work, but you can find time just to appreciate, just to pause, take a breath, enjoy the moment, and just keep going, if it makes sense.
And how do you stay connected with family or friends back home?
With family, they're all in Uzbekistan. Obviously, with technology, I'm already used to it because I said I've been in the UK for 6 years already. It's a normal routine to talk to my parents over the internet. But with my friends, they're all over the world already. Even though they're Uzbeks, in Germany, in Switzerland, in America, and since you go abroad and study there. So there are two versions of you. The one that grew up in Uzbekistan, second one is became mature abroad. And there are two homes and you cannot decide on which one. So I'm quite used to it, and everybody I know is a friend of mine who is quite all over the world.
So you came to the UK 6 years ago, as you just mentioned,
Yes.
to study BA in, is it international?
It was international
business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what have you been up to in that period since graduating and before starting your masters?
Oh, I've been everywhere, I would say. So I started as a student ambassador when I was 20 years old, and then I got acknowledged by the international office of the University of Plymouth, and became, I would say, the youngest UK university representative. So I was managing Europe and agents there. So basically my routine was to travel to, let's say, to one country, spend there 5 days or 5 countries a day. It can be as well. So I also did my placement in the Netherlands in a B2B company called BSF. It was during COVID. So I tried my skills in marketing and commercial analysis and in, let's say, international affairs diplomacy. Now I'm again slightly changing my career towards finance. So I helped a climate organization in Plymouth to get funded, to raise funds, and to manage their budgets as well. Which was a voluntary activity, which again showed my passion for numbers, passion for finance.
Great. It sounds like you've got some great experiences to bring to the program. Next, we're diving into learning, the classes, experience, and the skills that have really shaped your program so far. What were your expectations coming into the program, and how has the reality matched up for you?
So the expectations were high. I know the level of the university. I also spoken to other ambassadors and friends who went there. There's so many Uzbeks who graduated from the university, be it student exchange or directly. And the reality was the same as I expected. The program is quite intense, especially when you're doing masters and at Durham. So as I said, I was changing career slightly, so from business to more focused finance, and other friends of mine who studied the same course, they already have the strong foundation, but it is the desire from your side, the passion to a subject, and the curiosity that helped me going in the first 2 weeks. For example, we already started coding the first week. I'm like, I only knew how to code from the Hello World from my classes back 10 years ago. But again, since the UK and the whole British system focuses on self-study, I had to catch up. But thanks to all the classes, professors, and study hours and office hours, I'm doing well, I would say.
So what is the typical structure of your course? What does a week look like studying MSc Finance?
Well, okay. The first 2 days, at least in my schedule, quite intense. Monday, 3 full modules. So it's 2 hours. So you spend 6 hours a day, and you need to catch up with your classes. Tuesday will be all workshops. So 1 hour workshops, which to discuss what you already learned previous days on Monday. And then they give us a break just to calm down on Wednesday to catch up the classes again. Thursday is usually, again, we have elective courses. So in my case, it's financial technologies. And I usually spend day to do group projects with my friends. And Friday is very, very similar to Thursday as well. And we spend Saturday and Sunday to wrap up what we learned this week and to prepare for the next class. Because when it comes to UK, I'm not sure about other countries, you just don't come unprepared to classes. Otherwise, I think it's just a waste of time, because every single class is a new topic. It's not just wrapping up from different lectures. It's just absolutely new topics. So you need to come prepared, be active during classes, and again, summarize after classes. So basically, this is a typical week for a master student at Durham.
And on that, so how would you describe the teaching style at Durham Business School?
So obviously, there are 2 types of classes that you can have. One is lecture, when it's lots of information consuming. So much information, so usually take notes or just ask questions. But it usually takes you some time to understand what actually you discussed. And then that's why you have a workshop, where it's a smaller class, 10 times smaller. And the lecturer basically looks at it and is like, ask me a question. And this is when you actually start to understand what you were listening to for 2 hours previous day. So, but they understand that it's normal for you to not to understand even after workshop. It's not a big deal. Everyone is on different level. That's why they offer office hours, which is very, very valuable as well.
And how has the access to tools and facilities such as the Bloomberg Financial Trading Lab supported you on your study?
What I love about Durham Business School is that they emphasize practical aspects as well. Of course, you need theory, and sometimes you don't understand why you need that theory, but we got that engagement with practice in finance challenge. For example, when it comes to Bloomberg, when it comes to Python, they had 2-day challenges organized by an expert from the field, not the actual professor, but who actually, had been working in industry, and who has different style of teaching. He comes and we coded for 10 hours for 2 days, non-stop. He basically took us from basics of Python in finance to like intermediate in 10 hours with an exam in the end. And I'm like, wow. And actually practice, you understand why you need those heavy formulas at all. And I also loved how he emphasized that we need to use AI instead of being afraid of AI.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, when you do your assignments, people say, no, don't use AI because you need to learn. But in reality, is no one expects you to learn everything, to know everything. Just how to combine AI, how to use the necessary formulas to have to obtain results and what to report. So I love it. And same we're having with Bloomberg Terminal as well, we practice how to use advanced financial theory formulas and how to create portfolios.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of great resources available. I know the finance department put on a lot of zero to hero boot camps as well. Yes. On the weekends for students to learn additional skills. So yeah, I can imagine there's lots to be involved in and keep you very, very busy. So earlier you were talking about your kind of international experience and exposure. So how has that influenced your perspective on finance and investment?
So indeed, yes, my previous experiences were quite a great stepping stone into the finance. As I previously said, it is quite an intense course, yet you need to have foundation. So I'm really, really grateful that I had volunteering experiences in climate organizations, even though doing simple Excel files, but it was giving you the idea, the basis that you will build upon during the courses here. Plus, it's very multicultural. So even the professors, they're not just British. They can be a professor from China, they're from all over the world, and they have different mindset, different way of explaining things. Plus, you need to work with your groups as well, who are very, very multicultural. And I think Durham University is one of the most multicultural in the UK. So my experiences in mentoring students, so I used to mentor 100 students back in my bachelor's. Then I founded study programs in Uzbekistan, online courses. So I love to teach and I love to work with multicultural groups as well. So it was a great influence too. And just exposure to different events, be online or in person, talking to real experts in their field, just to understand their vision of the future of finance. That's why I love asking during the lecture, obviously, that they teach us from textbooks, from sources which are available, but I always say, ask professor, what is your opinion? Do you think Bitcoin is the future or not? Let's talk about that. And my professor laughs like, yeah, finally, let's go, let's talk about it. So just, I would say, curiosity, basics, at least understanding of formulas, Excel files and coding, and the multicultural mindset helped me to, I would say, to keep going and I would say succeed the first term at Durham University. It
sounds like you're very prepared for for your classes.
I like it.
Yeah. That leads us into lessons where we talk about the key takeaways and advice for future postgrads. What's something you've learned about yourself during your first few months here in Durham?
Is that I'm not very bad at coding. So, first thing, yes, obviously, technology, all this financial technology, was like a different universe for me. I was interested, but it's like it's like eating a cake. You love it, but you don't know how to make it. Same, but here we started from scratch, from very, very, very basics. And within those 3 months that we spent, we already can create portfolio just in simple Python. And sometimes when I'm overwhelmed with studies, just take a pause like, did I create that? Like, was it me? And that's just the idea of progress that you had, is that it's quite possible for you, even though you don't have strong foundation in finance or coding or any subject, but you need to be passionate about it. You need to be curious about it. That's what I would say. I learned, and we're talking about it early on, is that since it's an intense program, you learn that you can handle it as well. It's just a matter of time management. So basically, it's a 2-year program, usually 2-year program, like grouped into 1 year. At the same time, you have your social life with all the society. At the same time, you have application for work or dissertation. But it's the ability to prioritize and to learn about your weaknesses and strengths, and just focus on your strengths and to capitalize on that as well. That's what I learned as well. I would say 2 main things.
Well, it sounds like you're progressing really well. But what's one thing that you wish maybe you knew before you started the program?
The one thing I would say is that I would even start my preparation during summer holidays. For example, when it comes to, again, coding, that's the pain point of mine. So I will refer to it again and again. Is that if you have the spare time in summer, start practicing your Python, Art Studio on Data Camp and other platforms, which will be available already, since you already have access to Durham email, or just have a basic understanding on YouTube channels. Understand the electives you will be enrolled in, and think about your dissertation from now on, because time flies. And for masters, when it compares to bachelor's, you need to have a very clear idea what you will do in every single month ahead, and then you can actually succeed, I would say.
And you just touched on it briefly before, but more on the social side, you talked about societies and managing the social activities alongside your studies. Have you joined any societies? Yeah.
The first thing I said, I found people from my country, Central Asia, during the society forum.
So there is Central
Asia, yes,
society.
So as you know, there is Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, all the Stan countries. We usually go and have fun once 2 weeks to cook our national dishes, or just have some board games. Obviously, I joined lovely societies at Durham Castle as well. We usually, again, it might sound childish, but we watch Harry Potter movies in actual places where it was filmed. It's just for your brain to recharge, because again, time flies and you need to appreciate the moment. Because I also have a mentor from Durham Castle, who graduated probably 40 years ago.
Wow.
He loves to come back and guide people, and the first thing he does is, no, I want to go and see you in person. Because he really wants to come back to castle, appreciate the castle itself, and just remember what actually happened. Because again, the lectures, you can always learn it, but trust me, so many people dream about coming here behind the screens.
Yeah.
And I talk to Uzbek students as well, that just would love to be just on the table where you are so stressed about assignments. They would love to have that problem. Societies and financial technologies, so relevant to my courses. So I will usually go with society that will give me fun and relevant to my CV and career perspective. So usually 2 types.
And you just touched on this there in terms of other students and giving advice. So what advice would you give students from Central Asia or from similar backgrounds, considering studying finance, a master's in finance abroad?
I would say first reach out to alumni or to current peers studying at Durham University, especially if they're from the same country, because they can actually tell you their lessons, what they learned and what can be done better. And especially when you're a first-time international student, it will be more difficult than, for example, for me, who've been here for 6 years, because you need to understand how renting works, how bus system works, where to get what, and you also want to travel as well, how and when to get tickets from. Just again, create a clear plan. You don't just start when you come here. Just start whenever you are in summer. Have time, and at the same time, I would say, please, just think about your well-being as well. It's so much pressure for international students, and I understand that, because they will say what my relatives will say when I come back. I need to get a job, I need to get a skilled worker visa, I need to succeed, I need to be the best in the world. I understand that, and we all understand that, but please appreciate your time here. It might not be happening again, you never know. You can always find work in 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, but I'm pretty sure you will regret just being stressed every day, not enjoying time with your friends, not appreciating the opportunity you're here. Again, remember that people behind the screen will do everything just to be next to you, I would say.
Well, that's some great advice. Thank you for that. So talking about next steps, what is next for you after graduation next year?
So I'll say I'm doing two things at the moment. So I'm working on my project, helping Central Asian students. One is online courses that we're launching in December. Second is again study program. So we're launching a foundation in the UK in 4 cities, including Durham as well. Durham, Plymouth, Glasgow, and Edinburgh. They're a safe course for international students by 50%. At the same time, I'm inclined to learn more about Islamic finance, practice it. So I'm currently applying for remote internships. It's very, very widely available in the UK. It's one of the best in the world, I would say in the Western world, at least, in my opinion. And get a skilled worker visa in fintech, venture capital, Islamic finance, and to actually practice in the UK with all the sources available, which will be a stepping stone to my future project that I want to implement back in Uzbekistan.
Okay, so we're just going to have a little quick fire round here. So just the first thing that kind of comes to mind. So we'll jump straight in with most interesting module.
Financial technologies.
Hardest module?
Oh, advanced financial series. Sorry for that. So many formulas.
Group work or solo assignments?
Group work.
Favorite study spot in Durham?
Waterside building, business building.
A good choice. And favorite lecturer?
Oh, I'm saying professor from Python, Kumash, because we're from the same country.
Wow, nice. And theory or practice?
All practice, 100%. Yes, please.
Great. Well, yeah, thank you very much for coming in today and chatting to us. It's been great to hear about your experiences.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe. We've got plenty more stories coming your way.